coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome to the LSRL Round 6 live from the Hockenheim ring. I'm James Parfitt. I'm going to be here guiding you through all the action this evening. We are 5 minutes into qualifying currently at the moment here as well, and we do have a 5-lap sprint and a 38-lap feature ready to go for you here once more. Track length 4.53 kilometers, 16 curves, including the curves such as the Parabolica, the Spitzker hairpin, the Mercedes, and then into the stadium section. What we can do is bring you up the current championship standings here as well as these guys drive around in quali. We do have Matt Miller out in front at the moment on 95 points. John Silver in second on 92. Liam Kerr third, 88. Tamas Boniadi in fourth on 68. Mason Sagar 67. Daniel Johnson 66. Lindsay Green on 64 with Grigor Georgiev on 63. Steve Rubens on 59. Ricardo Serrano on 56. Jay Smart on 55. Carl Litsky 54. Steve Baker 47. Anthony Giuliano on 43. And then Troy Banks below that. Then after that we've got Josh Toothman, Dylan Gonaz, Tyler Gatke is in the top 18, of course, and then that will be rounding out the championship currently at the moment. It's been an interesting season so far here, guys, as well, and you don't want to miss this action this evening. Stay tuned because it is going to be an incredible evening of racing here as well, and with Matt Miller sat on top with 95 points. He is definitely the man to beat currently at the moment. So let's see how this one pans out here as well. In the team standings, we've got Curb Grinders on top with SG Racing, sharing the lead on 155 with Mercedes on 132, Danny Rick Racing on 122, Caroline Reapers on 107, Shenanigans on 95, Team 3 on 82, Battle Buddies 75, and Broken Wings Racing on 22 points. We've got Anthony Giuliano, who's got greens currently in sector 2. Jay Smart is currently setting the timing tower alight as well, as he's going to hopefully get a nice decent time on the board here. We got about 7 minutes remaining just coming up of qualifying. Hope everybody is well. Hope you're having a wonderful evening as we are here currently at the moment, but it is qualifying going on as well. So let's see what sort of times these guys will put across the borders. We've got 1:10.4 from Jay Smart. Matt Miller setting the purples across the board currently at the moment. This should be the pole position lap here as he is heading into this tricky stadium section where they will be taking a right and then they've got a double right. and then going down onto the start-finish straight as he's going to be coming over the board as well. It's going to be pole position. What sort of lap times is he going to get here? 1:10.377, and Matt Miller goes into top. New driver Andre Hansen, currently at the moment, he's from Norway. He is driving in only his second race, so let's see how he gets on here as well and see what sort of times he gets on the board currently at the moment as he goes over the line. What does Andre Hansen get? 1:11.286. It is an improvement, but not enough to take the top spot currently here as well. John Silver, another man that's got greens across the board in sector 1. Let's see if he can get a green in sector 2, and let's see what he is able to do, whether or not he's going to be able to put the car on pole, or will he not put the car on pole and put it in currently in that top 3 standings. He is looking to move up. Is Silver, who's gone past sector 2, another green as well, so an improvement on the time for John, the man from Argentina. And let's see what poor I could do. I thought he was actually from Colombia, John Silver, if I'm not mistaken. Not quite sure why he tells me it's from Argentina in his flag, but I'm pretty sure he is from Colombia. I'm sure of that one, actually, to be honest. Let me just have another look. Yeah, he is from South America. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me what country he's actually from, but it's picking it up that he's from Argentina here as well, which is a little bit strange. But Jay Smart going a little bit quicker in sector 1. What is he going to do when he goes over in sector 2? And he's going to go round in a circle. What about Daniel Johnson currently at the moment? What is he going to be able to do here? He's got greens on the board currently as well. Daniel Johnson from Danny Rick Racing with Ricardo Serrano, and Daniel Johnson goes into 4th on a 1:11.206. Jay Smart's out again. Joseph Murata has also got green in sector 1, so hopefully there will be an improvement from him, but we will see how he gets on and see how he does. Oh, spins up the back wheels. That's not going to help him as he's coming into turn 7 and Mercedes of turn 8. 4 minutes remaining of qualifying, and I think Joseph just calls it a day on that lap, so he is all done. What about Mr. J Smart? He's warming up them soft tyres. Everyone's on softs, of course. Don't forget, in the pit stop in the race, they do have to take tyres. So they will have to change compounds, whether it's softs, mediums hards, or softs and hards. But either way, they've got to change tyres. So let's see what J Smart can do here, and we'll take you on a lap round this circuit, this epic circuit, this circuit well known across the board as well. And let's see what sort of speeds J Smart is getting up to here as well. Let's jump on board now as we're heading down into turn 1, down into the Nord curve, the quick flick on the right, and then on we go once more up into the Parabolica corner. Right-hander, 3rd gear on the gas, we go to the left, and now we're going down that long run Parabolica straight, a long looping left-hander currently here as well. Coming into Spitzker, we're going to spot the board on the left-hand side. Up just before the 50, down into 2nd, round Spitzker we go. Keeping the gas car as level as we possibly can, around the right-hander in from turn 7. Round into turn 8, down into Mercedes on the brakes at the curb. We're going to turn left, of course, 3rd gear currently at the moment here. We do have somebody in front of us. He is going to move over to the side. That's not really going to affect it here. Greens again into turn 11, coming into that hairpin of 12, onto the brakes. Down we go through the gears. 4th gear, he's letting it roll round. Out, now we're going to go left, and now we're going to go right, and then we're going to go double right again. One more right. Round the last corner of Subcurve and then off across the line. And what sort of time did we get on the board for J Smart? A 1:10.374. He does take pole position to J Smart here this evening for this sprint race. What about Carl Halitsky and Daniel Johnson? As we're into the last 1:40. They will be able to get another lap in. They won't get one after this, of course, because it is coming to the end. But Daniel Johnson should get his lap time in. No improvements on the times from him. What about Kyle Litsky as he's coming through the stadium section? There is Joseph Murata. Unfortunately, he's buried it into the barrier. He's locked up on the grass and he's now stuck in the barrier in qualifying here. But here's Kyle Litsky. He's on orange in sector 2. What about sector 3? Round Soot curve we go. Over the line for Kyle Litsky. And it's a 1:20.030. So there we go. From him, Andre Hansen currently sitting in 5th place. Gets a slow exit out of Spitzke. I'll be surprised if he gets actually to finish this off, to be honest with you. As we've got about 40 seconds. He should get it done, but whether or not there's going to be an improvement in sector 2 after that very slow exit out of Spitzke, it is an improvement overall on his sector times. Onto the brakes we go. Round turn 12 now. He's got precisely 25 seconds to go left. Double right-hander. Round the final corner he goes. Andre Hansen improving all the while around his lap. And he goes over the line. Does he improve above Daniel Johnson? He does. He's the 4th man into the 110s here with obviously the likes of Jay Smart, Matt Miller, Liam Kerr, and then Andre Hansen. So let's see as up the grid is up for the sprint race. And it is Jay Smart on pole, Matt Miller in 2nd, Liam Kerr 3rd, Andre Hansen 4th, Daniel Johnson 5th, Anthony Giuliano in 6th, Mason Sager, John Silver, Steve Rubens, Carl Halitsky, Tamas Boniadi, and then Lindsay Green. And then Joseph Murata rounds out the final place on the grid. So let's see what he is able to do from there, whether or not he's going to be able to move up through. But as we wait for these cars to get on, and we'll see now who's going to be running what for this sprint race. And we'll see who will come out victorious and take pole for the feature. Okay, final cars getting onto the grid now. And here we go, the lights are out. We're going to be up and running very, very shortly for this sprint race. And it is Jay Smart. He gets a big lock up off the line. Matt Miller's going to overtake him down into turn 1. Jay Smart spun the wheels up. Daniel Johnson's made a jump as well. Steve Rubens is through. Tamas Boniadi there as well. Goes past him currently at the moment. Lindsay Green the 3rd, and then Joseph Murata. But it is Matt Miller out in front currently at the moment as Jay Smart bogged down off the line. Didn't get it round properly. Didn't get the launch. And then spins up the back wheels here as well. So let's see how this pans out with Liam Kerr trying to make the move on Daniel Johnson. He's going to dive it up the inside with 3 wide further back. Carl Halitsky, John Sager, Mason Sager and John Silver as they're battling out as well. Daniel Johnson's not letting Liam Kerr go. He's battling away. He did battle away side by side for brief moments there. What about Tamas Boniadi? Is he going to be able to make it through on Carl Halitsky? Halitsky looks like he's got a run over Silver. And now it is all about what Carl Halitsky's going to be able to do as they go into turn 11 here for the first lap of this feature race. Of this sprint race, I should say, before we go into the 38-lap feature. Daniel Johnson now has got Andre Hansen up behind him as well. Johnson got a great launch off the line up 1 place, but unfortunately just can't keep Liam Kerr behind. And Kerr did make it through as well on a 1:17.083 from the 110s we were doing in quali. So it's going to be interesting here to see what can Matt Miller do, what can Jay Smart do, can they make it an outright fight between them. They're opening the gap up to Liam Kerr, about 8 attempts currently at the moment. Smart's in the draft. Matt Miller goes to the left-hand side. Smart's going to try and run him on the outside of Spitzke. He's going to try to cut back, get the launch out of Spitzke if he can. And is he going to be able to do it? He's not this time around. He's not going to be able to get it done this time. As he goes now, settles it in and into Mercedes they go. Turn 8, of course. here on track. Thomas Boniadi fighting it out down the back of on the back end of the field there in 10th for Carl Holitsky. John Silver having a battle of his own, but Jay Smart and Miller fighting it out as they come round the corner here. A bit of a lock-up from Miller as Smart goes off once more, tries to chase him down. These two leading the pack, all of everybody on soft tyres, of course. You can see that on the left-hand side here. No need to change tyres now. They will be finishing on these tyres. 1:12.290 from Daniel Johnson. That's the fastest lap of the race. Currently at the moment, DRS wide open for Kerr. As these guys go running round the Parabolica, this is where DRS is going to kick in once more. Is Smart going to open it up? He does. Kerr opens it up. Johnson opens it up. Now Smart's going to have that massive overspeed. He's going to be able to run around the outside of Miller. Miller's going to settle in behind him. And Smart now goes for it. What about Kerr? Not this time as they battle out side by side through the Spitzkehre they go. Can Liam Kerr get that run up on Miller? He can't as he's going into turn 7. Into Mercedes at full speed at right-hander. On the brakes they go and round Jay Smart goes once more. Tamas Bottiadi still fighting out further down as well. He's running side by side with Silver. Silver just gives him a hip check. Bottiadi's going to run him up the inside there. No room going on there either. Sagar is sweeping around the outside of Johnson round into turn 11. Through turn 12 they go. And Johnson has, unfortunately, Andre Hansen has gone a little bit wide there and lost the place to Mason Sagar up front. Smart and Miller. Miller's on the inside this time. He's looking for that run down into turn 1. No doing here. He runs wide, takes it off track. Smart goes on the defensive. It looks like Smart may have a slowdown. And he has done, and now he's settling in behind Daniel Johnson and Liam Kerr going to have a go at Miller here as well on lap 4 of this race. DRS wide open for Kerr once again. Johnson's got his wide open. Smart's got his wide open as well. And now Miller's on the defensive. Is he going to be able to hold it into Spitzkehre from Liam Kerr? Kerr tries that cut back on him there as well. Great up and under from Kerr, and I think Kerr's going to make it through. He does do. What about going round into turn he's in Mercedes at the moment at turn 8, sorry. As he's on that run, he gets a bit of a twitch coming out now. But Kerr, Miller's going to try the inside into turn 11, gets it done. There's slight contact with Smart and Johnson there in the background. Both of them made it through successfully, and both of them still up and running. And now we're on with Jay Smart and Daniel Johnson. They're battling it out further back. Miller's opened up a 1 second back gap. Is Johnson going to be able to take Kerr on the final lap here as well of this sprint race? Round turn 1 they go. Johnson, Smart. Smart's going to try to cut back over Johnson. Johnson's got DRS as well. Kerr hasn't got anything. Kerr has got nothing. He is going to be a sitting duck here as they're making tire contact. Smart's trying to run him around the outside. That's allowed Kerr to open up a bit of a gap. Johnson hasn't got DRS. No DRS for Johnson. Hansen has behind him as well. And also Sagar. Sagar's going to get saved by the DRS, I think, and manages to hold on to that 5th place. Johnson moves to the right-hand side. He goes on the defensive. He's going to force Smart to go around the outside into turn 7. Smart's going to look at narrowing up Mercedes. He takes that position away. There was contact further back with Daniel Johnson and Sagar. Sagar's now spun the car, unfortunately for him. Here, and unfortunately Sagar's just dropping down the order. He's gone down past Silver in 8th place currently, but Miller's going to go out front and take the victory this time around. And it is Matt Miller round the final corner. He's off now across the line. And Miller wins the sprint race with Kerr, with Smart behind him. But it is Miller, then Kerr, and then Smart. Your 1, 2, 3. Further down the order, Sagar's going to be kicking himself. We can have a look back and see what happened to Mason Sagar before hopefully we change over sessions. Sagar there goes in. I think he just goes in too deep on Johnson. He looks for the inside. He springs him up in the air and he gets put round by Hansen. And then that wing come off and then went back on magically there. So all done and dusted for this sprint race. And let's see the results of the sprint, which will set the grid for race 2. Matt Miller is in first, Liam Kerr second, Jay Smart third, Andre Hansen fourth, Thomas Boniadi in fifth, Steve Rubin sixth, John Silver seventh, Mason Sagar eighth, Daniel Johnson ninth, Joseph Miranda in 10th, Lindsay Green the third in 11th, Carl Herlitsky in 12th, and Anthony Giuliano down in 13th place. So there we go. Okay, so brief little warm-up we got going on now. And we will see, maybe some people will get on track during this warm-up period, but I don't think anybody will, to be honest. I think they'll just sit back and chill out, like I will be doing, drinking my blackcurrant quite happily here this evening as well. Okay, so great start for Miller. Miller will be on pole for race 2, the feature race. We've got 38 laps of this Hockenheim ring for this feature. John Silver is off track in the background. He's not back on yet. Well, what did he do? Did he spin it up coming out of that corner? He did. Nice little pirouette for Silver as he goes backwards onto the grass. Of course, he's got no grip in them tyres, so it's going to be a great mission for him to come back on. And he decides that enough was enough. That's it for now. I'm not doing any more. So, yeah, nothing doing for John Silver. But we'll see how they get on here. Let's see whether or not they manage to. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a warm-up man. I don't need 5 minutes to go round a track that I've driven loads already. So I think for him, I would probably just sit in the pits and chill. But unless he wants to work on a sector time, of course, somewhere on track that he feels like he's not going that little bit faster than he could be, then obviously he's going out on the circuit. Me personally, I wouldn't. Let me know what you'd think. Would you go out on track, or would you just sit back and chill out and just spend your time, I don't know, getting a cup of tea or drinking some milk, as I heard earlier on from Callum Milam here. So, yeah, I'm not a milk drinker personally. I don't, apart from unless it's in a cup of tea or cup of coffee, I don't really drink milk. So there we go. Smart's off the circuit once more. Not Smart. Silver's off the circuit once more, I should say. And unfortunately for him, it's not going too well for the man from Colombia. I believe he is from Colombia. I don't think he's from anywhere else. I don't think he's from Argentina, like his name is saying now. I think he is from Colombia. But let's see. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I haven't got long left of this warm-up. Unfortunately, for some reason, the session state's not showing up in the top left-hand corner. Give the overlay a bit of a kick. And it's still not showing up. So let's try and give it a kick from another way. We'll see if we can get this session time up. We can't. Wonderful. Well, let's hope it comes through on the race. Otherwise, we're definitely not going to know what lap they're going to be on. And hopefully it will work correctly. Maybe it's just because he's in a warm-up here and not actually got a time on the board. Liam Kerr's off the circuit, or was off the circuit. And now Silver's off the circuit. So it's not gone well for Silver for this little warm-up. I think he's got long left, to be honest, so I think he's probably going to just sit back and chill out. I would sit back, chill, get a drink, mellow, you know. So we can see here at the Hockenheim ring, Jim Clark 1965 world champion. So, yeah. Right. Wait for it to flick over. We will be able to show you the grid for race 2. And it is Matt Miller out in front, Liam Kerr in second, Jay Smart third, Andre Hansen fourth, Tamas Bodiaddy fifth, Steve Rubin sixth, Silver seventh, Sagar eighth, Johnson ninth, Morada in 10th, Green in 11th, and Kyle Halitsky down in 12th. I wonder where Anthony Giuliano has gone to. He's there in 13th. No, he has got onto the grid. Excellent stuff for Anthony. Well done. And now we've got this feature race here, 38 laps of this circuit. And one that we can look forward to, seeing how these guys get on, seeing how they control this car as Miller is on track. We're just waiting for Miller, sorry. We've got Liam Kerr on track. It's a soft, medium, 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 soft, medium, medium, soft. Seem to be the dominating factor here this evening as well. The lights are on, ready to go. And now we are sitting down in turn 1, waiting for these cars to go rushing towards us. And let's see what happens. His lights out and away we go. Smart got an absolute flyer there and has taken the lead already. Jay Smart jumped off that line like an absolute rocket. Everybody makes it through further back as well. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on, but currently everybody has made it through. Sago and Daniel Johnson. Johnson all the way down. Unfortunately for Giuliano, he has gone round. Anthony Giuliano gone round there, and unfortunately for him, he's dropped all the way back to the back end of the field. We've lost Carl Halitsky already off the start, but Anthony Giuliano did spin it up in this feature race. So unfortunately for him, he is going to be all done and dusted. He's got to battle his way and see how he can get on and whether or not he will be able to make up some positions from where he is currently. Miller is in second place. Liam Kerr in third. Chasing down Miller in front of us currently at the moment as well, as they're going to come to the end of lap 1 here for tonight's race, and it is Smart, Miller, Kerr. Sagar's off track. Unfortunately for Mason Sagar, he looks like he's sitting in the turn 12 there, and he's running round and he's going to pick up a load of the kitty litter once more as he loses a place to Giuliano as well. Giuliano is back at it. Smart takes it off. Miller takes it off track there. Smart fastest lap 1:17.567 here, and has opened up about an 8/10 gap currently at the moment. Getting a bit of a spin up there was Liam Kerr, but let's happen to see what happened to Mason Sagar. I believe he's already had his incident there as he comes into turn 12. Whoa, he went in backwards. Mason Sagar, that was rather spectacular. As he comes round the corner, turn 11, he hits the curb and around he goes, unfortunately. And he just doesn't be able to get hold of that car, and he just spins it round here as well. But it's all opening up front. 7/10 gap currently at the moment between the first and the second. There is first, there is Miller in second place, and Liam Kerr in third. Andre Hansen there in fourth, with Tamas Boniadi in fifth behind him. And then we've got Silva, Rubens, Johnson, Green. It looks like Morada's had another incident here as well. Unfortunately for Joseph Morada, it looks like he's gone round as he's coming on the exit of turn. He's going out through turn 10. Just overpowers the car, and around goes Morada there on lap 2. So unfortunately for him, he's going to be down the back end of the order. Smart is off track as well. Jay Smart off the circuit. Unfortunately, the leader has been off track. What did you do, young sir, to yourself? Oh, Jay Smart, unfortunately, into the wall as well on the exit of turn 2. Gets too much power and spins it up, and is unfortunately all the way down in 7th place now for Smart. Sagar's jumped back to the pits. Mason Sagar has jumped back to the pits. But Miller and Kerr fighting it out. Kerr's now taking the lead. Miller's chasing him down. He's trying to get through at the moment. Silver's now up into third. Boniatti in fourth place. Rubens, Johnson, Smart and Green behind that. And has Smart got a problem here because he's being closed down rapidly by Green as they're going around turn 12 currently at the moment. And I'm wondering if there's an issue for Smart. Smart's dived into the pit lane and is probably going to whack on the hard tyres. What about Steve Rubens? Can Rubens hang on from Johnson? Battle up front as well. Kerr and Miller. Miller's going to have DRS. It's wide open at the moment. We're closing now. We're going to sweep round the outside. He's made his move early. Kerr's got to have no answer. And Miller's going to take that lead in this race here as well on lap 4. Kerr does a little bit of a disappearing act on me. Silver manages to hang on from Boniatti. But it is Miller out in front with Liam Kerr currently on lap 4 of 38. 34 remaining. So stay tuned for this one, guys, as well. We've got medium leading the way with Boniatti on the softs. Back, here we go. Now, still within DRS range. Boniatti's hanging on to DRS currently at the moment. Just in that 9th, 10th gap. Is he going to be able to get out? He's out of the gap now. He's in, out of that 1 second window. No, he's just got to jump back inside. Kerr's got DRS open at the moment. A little short spurt from quarter turn 1 around turn 2. Off we go, the site of Smart's accident there as well. And Kerr's going to have DRS wide open here. I can guarantee that. You can see that letterbox open on the back end of his car. He's closing. Not close enough this time around. Round Spitzker we go. And Matt Miller is just hanging on. Boniatti's just using the DRS and hanging on to Silver as well. 5 of 38, 33 to go on the clock. In about 33 minutes time, give or take, we will find out who's going to win this round 6 here of the LSRL F1s. We've lost Sagar, we've lost Halitsky. Sagar dropped out earlier on. He had, unfortunately, a bit of an incident, and then Mason Sagar did this to himself. He come out the pit lane and decides enough is enough and pulls over and calls it a day. So once more, round for lap 6. And Miller is still out in front with Kerr behind him. Kerr's going to have DRS wide open. Of course, it's coming down. The gap's coming down to 2 tenths. On the brakes he goes. And then Liam Kerr there is going to have DRS once more here as well. Look on the steering wheel, left-hand side, 1 light. 4 lights, he's got it open. And now we're chasing down Miller at an absolute rate of knots. Miller goes on the defensive on the inside. Kerr says, well, thank you very much. I'll just go around the outside. He's going to try the outside of Spitzker now. Is Miller going to get on the gas early enough to defend? He's not. Smart's on the fastest lap of the race, 1:13.015. Miller's on the left. Kerr's on the right. They're coming down into Mercedes. Liam Kerr's going to slip up the inside. Miller's going to try to cut back as well. It looks like he's got a bit of a better run. Coming out of turn 10, on their way up into 11 now. And it's the difference of these guys out in front by 2.1 seconds with Smart all the way down in 9th place. Your pole man, well, he wasn't pole, Miller was pole. He took the lead on the first lap, did Smart. He got an absolute flyer off the line as well. And we can have a look back at that start, see how he got here as well for J Smart, because he does pull an absolute barnstormer. Watch the man in 3rd place as we're going to be up underway. And he pulls out. He gets absolutely nailed at that start. There you go. Gets off the line like an absolute rocket. And away he goes. Everybody makes it through cleanly within that first stage. And then we can have a look and see what happened to, I think it was Joseph Murata who got off the line very, very slowly. Mason Sagar having an incident in the next corner as well. He's dived up the inside as Sagar manages to hold on, but it was the car behind there who went off track, unfortunately for him, and not an ideal there as well. Kerr has managed to get past Miller. That was obviously under DRS down from Parabellica into Spitzker, and Giuliano here as well. Don't forget, J Smart has been into the pits. He's stayed on the soft tyres. I believe he was on the mediums, so maybe he's taking the softs for a run and see how far he can get them here. But with 31 laps remaining, there's still a lot of racing left. And I got a funny feeling this is going to be a DRS swap between Miller and Kerr all the way through this race, right up to the pit stops. Who will get that jump? Well, time will tell. So let's see what happens and see how they get on here and see whether or not Kerr can get through. Miller is spun. Miller is round. The second place man sitting on the side of the circuit there. He's done it out of that same corner that J Smart did it. And unfortunately for Miller, turn 3 on lap 8 has kind of made that difference for him, and he's dropped all the way down the field into 5th place at the moment. So it's going to be tough for Miller to try and see how he gets on currently at the moment. We will have to sit back and see what he does now, whether or not he's going to be able to have to climb his way through the order. Giuliano chasing down Lindsey Green. What is he going to be able to do? And see how he gets on here. And Anthony Giuliano with Lindsey Green in front of us. Round turn 12 we go. Round the right-hander, the double right-hander towards the end of the race circuit. And now we're going to have down into turn 1. Lights are going to be on the dash very shortly. We've got 1 light. Now we're going to activate the DRS. We've got 4. And Giuliano slips up the inside. Green tries to come back round him out of turn 2. Round turn 3 they go to sight of J Smart and Miller and almost Lindsey Green there. Big tank slapper from Lindsey Green. And he's now got DRS. He's going to be able to use it to close up some of that time he's just lost. He does close him up going into Spitzker there as well. So not being able to get through here, Lindsey Green dropping it out of that second range. And now we've got 2.5 to Silva, 2.2 to Baniadi, 2.9 to Johnson, 4.7 to Miller, and 2.5 there as well. And it's starting to open up a little bit here on this circuit on lap 9 of 38. These gentlemen do have 27 laps left to go. So let's see how it all pans out here for this LSRL F1 round 6 from the Hockenheim ring. And we're going to have to see whether or not Miller's going to be able to take it. Is he going to be able to do something after his incident? Is J Smart going to be able to do something after their incident as well? Well, time will tell. And so stay tuned for this one. And see how this all pans out here as we've got cars spreading out across track currently at the moment. But Liam Kerr opening up, doing an absolute stellar job as well. See if he can get through. If he can't get through, what the situation will be. Can he take the lead? Can Kerr get the lead? That's going to be the question. Can he manage to hold on to the lead? Unfortunately, everybody else that's been out in front has come off the circuit at some point. So let's hope it doesn't happen here, but you never know. You never know how this one might work. We've seen people lock up, we've seen people spin. And Murata and Giuliano. Giuliano's been off track, unfortunately for Anthony here. Ooh, and then he disappears and comes back on again. So nothing really major there. What about Joseph Murata? Murata just runs wide there as well. So these guys using as much as the track as they possibly can as we go back to live pictures. And Liam Kerr out in front by 3.1 seconds. We are waiting for the pit stop cycle to hopefully bring these cars back together. But everybody away nicely, and Liam Kerr just out in front, dominating the field currently at this moment in time, and is doing an absolutely stellar job. Boniat is probably the man that's closest. We can see Silva up the road there as Silva finds himself in second place. Currently the man up 5 positions, Giuliano up 6 here. So them guys are topping it with how many places they have gained. But Silva currently sitting in second place, being closed down by Boniatti. Boniatti behind him, Johnson behind that, Miller, Rubens, Smart is back out on track. Don't forget he's already made a pit stop. Hansen has entered and left the pits as well. What actually did happen to Andre? He went off track here. What did Andre Hansen do? He spun the car going into the final corner, puts it into the wall, and unfortunately leaves his nose cone there. And he had to do the rest of the lap there without that nose cone. So unfortunately for Hansen, that was on lap 2 he did that incident, going into turn 16, so tough for him. And he didn't quite managed to stay on track. Andre Hansen, second race of the season, come in with a blaze of thunder, predicted to be one of the quick guys up the front. Well, it's not looking like that now for Andre Hansen. Very tough for him. They were, of course, at Bathurst, and it was Kerr, Hansen, Johnson, Sagar, Rubens, Toothman there. So they did an absolutely stellar job, did Andre Hansen, finishing in second. He was 42 seconds back, mind you. But unfortunately, not having that much luck here today. Silva with Boniatti. Boniatti's pulled it back about 1.3. Got the gap down to 1.3 currently at the moment. And John Silva here as well, who's managed to make 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and he's done an absolute stellar job here, sitting in second place in the championship on 92 points. Well, it's going to be tough for Silva. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near Kerr. He's opening up the gap to Boniatti. Boniatti there lost some time. It's 1.8 seconds. Murata's out as well, so we've lost another one already. 14 laps gone, 24 remaining, and we've lost Joseph Marotto and Sagar and Halitsky. So there we go. Unfortunately for them, those guys out. I don't think Halitsky actually managed to take the start. Smart's got green in his sights. Jay Smart coming back through the field, of course, after his spin out of turn 3. And is now chasing down Lindsay Green. And it looks like he is going to make that move. And he has gone through. Smart back up into 8th place, chasing down Giuliano, who is about 3.6 seconds up the road. We're expecting Jay Smart to open up that gap to Green. And already it's coming out to nearly 8/10 here. So Smart and Green. Green's going to have DRS, I believe. He has, so he will be able to pull some of the time back, but whether or not he can keep in to DRS range for the next one, only time will tell. He is going to be doing that, so he's going to use that DRS to close up some of the gap. He's about 8/10, 7/10 back, 6/10, 7. Yeah, it's within that 6th or 7th range, and then goes in very hot into the split scare hairpin, does Green, and that unfortunately might put him out of that lap out of that second time. He's hanging on. He's just about in there. So, yeah, Jay Smart, there you go. He's popped him out of DRS range, and unfortunately for Green, he's going to have to try and do it naturally. Catch up to the man who was in third place on the grid for this race, and he did an absolute barnstorming start. Miller's into the pits. He's going to drop down behind Smart. Whether Smart's going to be able to take these 22 laps, that's going to be an interesting thing, as we're already 16 gone. He's going to jump Miller. Miller's in the pit lane and has been in there for about 19 seconds. He's on his way out now. His actual pit stop time was literally about 4.23, and Smart did manage to make it through. So let's see how he gets on here as well at the Hockenheim ring. Jay Smart closing on the back of Giuliano. Boniatti still got Daniel Johnson now behind him. There is Johnson, as close as he possibly can be. Here, Boniatti peels into the pits, and that's that battle over and done with as well. So Thomas Boniatti into the pits, and we'll see what tyres he goes on to here. He's obviously going to lose that place. He's going to lose a few places as Tamas. Steve Rubens, I think Giuliano is going to go past. I think Smart's also going to get through. Boniatti still in the pits. He's on his way out now. Smart does go through. What about Miller? I think this is going to be close here with Miller and Boniatti. Boniatti's on the exit. Miller's not going to get through. He's going to sit behind him, unfortunately. So, there we go. And Miller is behind Boniatti. DRS wide open going down Parabolica now. Off he goes past Boniatti, and that is Miller on his way under DRS, taking currently 8th place there. So well done to Matt Miller. Nice and tidy. Now depends if Boniatti can stay with him here on lap 17. We've lost Andre Hansen as well. And unfortunately for Hansen, this is why. Oh, goes in with a big one, does Hansen. And we can have a quick look at that again here. Oh, just catches the curb on the exit, and unfortunately for him, out of turn 9, gone round, put it in the wall, and now Hansen is out. So we are down to 9 cars racing it here, and Smart has just passed Giuliano. So Smart goes on his way once more. So we're losing cars here. We're down 4 cars already. Giuliano's going to have DRS. Is he going to make the attempt, though? That's going to be the question, to try and pass here. But I don't think he is going to. I think Giuliano and obviously Smart are in the same team, so it won't make sense for him to try and pass Smart. Smart's already pitted, so a little bit of team orders there, I think, kicking in, and Smart has gone through. And now he's setting on his way after Steve Rubens. Rubens, Johnson, Silver and Kerr have not been into the pits yet, so they've still got their pit stop to make. And for them guys, well, we'll see how it goes. But for a minute, Giuliano, oh no! Smart and Giuliano, teammates. Giuliano into the pits. And unfortunately, it didn't look too good for Jay Smart. Let's have a look back and see what he got up to here. Goes off track. I think that was one of the starts. He's coming out the corner. He hits the curb. Round he goes. And nowhere to go for Giuliano there. And Smart and Giuliano, teammates, unfortunately. So out of turn 14, that was. And Smart and Giuliano, well, first race of racing, first rule of racing, don't take out your teammates. And unfortunately for Smart, he did do that. Giuliano swapped over to the hards. Smart is going to be, I think he is now, he's still running, still on the soft tyres. Don't know how he hasn't got damaged, but there are now gaps all the way through the field currently here as well. And Lindsay Green in 7th place, 1.8 seconds, but it is Liam Kerr out in front, Silva and Johnson, your 1, 2, 3, with Rubens a long way back after that as we're entering into lap 20. Okay, lap 20 of 38. We've lost Hansen. We've lost Murata. See, I generally call him Joseph Murata, but Marotta. Joseph Marotta, Sagar and Halitsky are out already. But everybody else is kind of spread out around the circuit. You can see it there at the top of your board. Barniadi is the only one who's within about 3 seconds of Lindsay Green, and everybody else just seems very spread out across track as they're just driving around now with 17 laps remaining here. And we still need a pit stop from Rubens, Johnson, Silver and Kerr as they're on the mediums. I think they'll be able to go a good 25 laps before they'll think about bringing them on, probably dumping them off, putting on the soft tyres. Job done for them, then they can straight run them softs all the way to the end here at the Hockenheim ring. Smart is now a long way back, but he still will get points, so that's the important thing for him as well, as he's sitting in, well, and unfortunately for Smart, he's all the way down in 7th place at the moment, so not a good look for Smart, but I'm sure he will battle back and see how he gets on as well. So let's see what's happening here with Smart and see if he can make any inroads on the guys in front of him. Maybe try and get some places back. Steve Rubens has got the Matt Miller on his way. Miller's behind him. Rubens has not pitted yet as well. So Rubens is going to be looking at going in, I would have thought, within the next couple of laps. He's got Miller chasing him down. Miller's probably on our inside. No, not this time around. Puff of smoke there from Rubens as he's heading, going to be looking. Is he going to go into the pits this time around? He is not. Or one more lap for Steve Rubens. That's going to put Miller right behind him. Miller's going to be looking at the inside of turn 1. He's nothing doing there. He's going to run him around the outside. DRS wide open for Miller now. He's going to get him before he even gets into turn 2 and 3. And then he goes through. So Miller is now back up into 4th. Is he going to have the DRS? It was Rubens who caught the DRS, so he'll close up some of that half a second here with Miller, but he's not going to be close enough to make any moves going into that Spitzker hairpin. And I've got a funny feeling Miller is just going to run away with it here currently at the moment. Green has gone into the pits and come out behind Jay Smart. So Lindsay Green there behind Smart. Smart's just done the fastest lap of the race on a 1:12.17. And putting that into perspective, as Giuliano in front of him, that's basically about 1.8 seconds quicker here as well. So Smart is absolutely flying. He's got a 7-second gap to try and close down to Giuliano. So we'll have to see how this one pans out here as well. 15 laps on the clock of this feature race. 38 laps these guys have got to go. And we'll see how this one pans out for the rest of this race as we're going into lap 24. Rubens is in the pits. I think he should technically get out in front of Smart after Smart had that incident with his teammate. Smart locked it up spun it up coming off the curb out of here and literally put it round to the circle, and then Giuliano just come in and absolutely clattered him. There was nowhere for Giuliano to go. Smart was across the track. It was all done and dusted, and he's now broken the draft to Lindsay Green there as well. So Lindsay Green now 4 seconds to Rubens, who's come out of the pits. Giuliano is unfortunately looking like he's having a few issues because his internet's kicking in and out and he's going backwards and forwards. So 1 minute he's on track, next minute he's not. There is Giuliano there. So let's see, guys, and stay tuned for the last 14 laps of the race. Right, back underway we go. Silver's gone into the pits. He's chasing down Boniadi in front of us. He's come out behind Boniadi. Boniadi there pulling an absolute masterstroke at the moment. Pitting on lap 16. Miller's on 15. He's also jumped Silver as well. So Miller is back in to third place. So he's just got Daniel Johnson to try and get past, who hasn't pitted yet as well. Oh, John Silver forcing his way past Boniadi. I'm not entirely sure whether Boniadi had his own moment going into Spitzkare or that was just caused by Silver. No, he ran in and spun that car up. Silver went round and said, thank you very much, I'll have that. And job's a good one. Silver's on his way. Top four for John Silver. Kerr is off the track. He's in the pits at the moment. Where is Silver going to come out? Kerr's on his way out. Johnson's in the pits. He's been jumped by Miller. And Kerr is going to be up the road there by about 8 tenths. He's going to come out right beside Matt Miller. Is Miller going to be able to get a hold of him here as well? This is the battle we've been waiting for. And this is the battle that I think will materialise as the race goes on. 3 tenths for Miller. Miller's got DRS wide open. Kerr goes on the defensive. He takes the right-hand side. Miller's going to try and run around the outside. He's going to try that cutback coming out of Spitzkare. Is he going to be able to get on the gas early enough? Miller as well here is on the soft tyres. Kerr's on the soft tyres. You can see that there. Miller is also on the softs. I like to point out as well, because of that weird, wonderful thing where it doesn't always change the tyres. But Miller is definitely on the softs. Go with what's on the tyre compounds on the left hand side. Don't look at the cars, because currently at the moment you'll think Miller is still on the mediums. So let's see what happens here with Miller, and can he keep in striking distance? Kerr's pulled out about 8 tenths, 9 tenths currently at the moment, as we've only got 12 laps to go. We're going to see about another 12, 13 minutes of racing, I would have thought. Miller's got DRS open. He uses it to pull up some of that time. He should stay within that second activation. No, he's out. He's out of it, I think. No DRS. Oh, Miller did get DRS. That must have been by the skin of his teeth there. And manages to pull on a little bit more time to Kerr. Rubens here with Giuliano. Steve Rubens in the orange and black, Giuliano in the green and blue. In front of us here as these guys are battling it out, going into turn 2, round turn 3, off that exit of 4. And now Rubens is going to have DRS wide open. He's going to close down onto the back of Giuliano. 4 tenths, 3 tenths. It is coming down, but Giuliano goes on the defensive already. Takes that in line. Round into the hairpin. Rubens didn't look like he was going to try that cutback either. So, unfortunately from Rubens, he didn't look like he was going to be in a position on this run round turn 7 into 8, into Mercedes. He's looking up the inside. No, Giuliano says not this time. Takes his nose off. Giuliano on the hard tyres there, as you can see. Rubens on the softs. Obviously, Rubens pitted on lap 22. Giuliano on lap 18. As in the background, we can see Smart. So this could end up to be a nice little tidy freeway here as well, as we enter into the last 11 laps here at the Hockenheim Ring. Right, back we go, and we've still got Giuliano, Rubens and Smart. Of course, Giuliano and Smart are from the same team, both from the Carolina Reapers. Rubens had a go here, didn't quite make it through. Giuliano is slow on the exit of Spitzker. I think he's just slowing him up. And Smart closes in, but he doesn't get close enough to try and make a move here. Round goes Steve Rubens, sweeping around the right-hander off turn 9 on the exit of 10. Off we go up into 11. We're going to run around the right-hander now as well. Kerr's open up 1.7 seconds, flying through turn 12. We've got Rubens, Smart, and Giuliano. Giuliano at the front of the field here, holding on to these. Round the double right-hander. And now he's back underway as Rubens. Smart is closing in quick. Smart is right behind Rubens. He's going to get a dose of DRS. Rubens is going to have DRS. Round the outside, Smart goes in deep. He turns in late, manages to make it through over Rubens. I think he's going to get Giuliano as well. I'm pretty sure Giuliano's not going to fight this one. Giuliano all the way to the left-hand side. He is defended a little bit. Smart all the way to the other side there as we were looking at the camera, as you saw. And now Smart is tucked up behind Giuliano here, going into the final 10 laps. Onto the brakes they go. Is Smart going to duck up the inside? He's not. Round it he goes now through 8, 9. Off on that run out of 10, coming into 11. Round into 12. Giuliano's managed to hang on in them hard tyres, which is a bit of a surprise considering Smart's on the softs here, but then Smart's on softs that are currently lap 18, so 11 laps old. Giuliano's on the hards. He put it exactly the same lap there, so I'm surprised he didn't take the softs. But round now, Smart's going to look up the inside into turn 2. Easy pass for Smart. Giuliano's going to slot in behind him. And now Giuliano can use that DRS to defend from Rubens behind. I think J Smart, even without DRS, is going to be quicker. Rubens goes all the way to the right-hand side. He passes Giuliano. He's not going to pass Smart into Spitzker. Giuliano's on the left now. They're going to touch. He's going to flick Giuliano round. Rubens and Giuliano are going to come together. They've come together. And unfortunately for Giuliano, he's come off worse. So... and Rubens has got no front wing either. But let's have a look. Giuliano running around the outside of the Spitzker. Goes all the way round. Rubens opens up the steering, and then they get together, and then they hook together, and then the front wing falls off Rubens' car, and the rear wing off Giuliano, just randomly dropping it down onto the floor. He's going to have to go into the pits here because you haven't got a front wing at all. What about Giuliano? He hasn't got a rear wing, so he's going to go in as well. He's managed to make it back, which is great. So well done to him. But now the gap's opened up even more, and Kerr's only got 8 laps here as well. So for Liam Kerr, he's just got to run around, do the job, keep it on track, and he should take this victory. So there we go for Liam Kerr. Job done, really. Well, goes around, sweeps around turn 1, round into 2 and 3. Giuliano's in the pits, as they do have to change a rear wing, of course, on his car. And now Liam Kerr running away with it, 4.29 seconds over Miller. And Lindsey Green's lost a position to Smart there. Let's say that he had a bit of a moment in the Spitzker. Runs a little bit wide, runs around the outside of the sausage curb, doesn't try and take the sausage curb to come back on track. And he's now sitting down in 7th place with Smart, currently in 6th, and he's got a 15-second gap over Johnson. Oh, that's Giuliano. Giuliano spun it up coming out of turn 4 after his pit stop. Spins the car up, and unfortunately for Giuliano, he's having a race that he really probably will want to forget here on lap 30 on the exit of turn 4. Tell you what he's done is put the gas down too early, spun up the car, and he's gone round. And we can't have a look and see that. There we go. Spun up the car, round it goes. Does he keep it out of any wall or barriers? He does. He's got enough runoff on the right hand side there, and he doesn't do any dangers whatsoever. So well done to him. Great job there as well. So back underway here, 6 laps remaining. We've got Liam Kerr, Matt Miller, John Silver, Thomas Boniadi, Daniel Johnson, Jay Smart, Lindsay Green, Steve Rubens, and Anthony Giuliano there as well. We've lost Andre Hansen, Joseph Marotta, Mason Sagar, and Carl Herlitsky. So there we go from these guys. Giuliano went off track a couple of times there, so unfortunately for him, coming out of the pits, getting a new rear wing, and he spun it up and around it he went here as well. Final 5 laps of the race. Liam Kerr's coming up to a back marker at the moment. That is 8th place man Steve Rubens. Kerr will get DRS. I'm sure Rubens isn't going to cause him any problems, and he stays on his line. Kerr sweeps around the outside. Job done for him. And Liam Kerr past the back marker of Steve Rubens, and Rubens has been lapped. Giuliano's back into the pits. I think he's probably going to be looking at calling it a day here. I'll be very surprised if he comes back out. But in hindsight, he should come back out because you still get points. But unfortunately for him, it just wasn't as many as he probably would like, to be fair, I think, for Anthony. But then again, he is the first man to sit there and admit he's not the quickest on track. But he is here. He does give it a good old go, and just unfortunately a couple of mistakes cost him here this evening. And obviously that incident with his teammate didn't help either with Jay Smart there. So for Anthony, unfortunately, and Smart, first rule of racing, don't take out your teammates. And well, Smart spun it up coming out of this corner through turn 13, just about there. Spun it up, round he went, and unfortunately Giuliano had nowhere to go. 4 laps to go. Next 4 minutes, we're going to find out who's going to win. Honestly, I think it is going to be Kerr. I've got to be honest. Kerr is looking too tidy in that car for me. I don't think he's going to make a mistake. And Miller just doesn't have the pace to stay with him. So Boniadi's going to open up that rear wing there. Close up at the time up to Johnson. I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's too far back this time. He is pulling him in. Gap's down to 4 tenths now. But he's definitely not close enough into Spitzker to make that move. Drops it back out to 7 tenths. So Johnson's showing pace here in the last 4 laps to try and keep this gap. I think Giuliano used his fast repair on the incident with Jay Smart, and unfortunately he hasn't got one, so he's just currently sitting there. He's been in the car 2.5 minutes already, in the pits 2.5 minutes already. So let's see, lap 35, free to go. And we will see Car's extended his gap now, 6.1 seconds, just below 6 seconds. Silver behind Miller there. There is Miller in front of him. We can see there is Matt Miller on the right hand side. Silver is behind. Gap's now 1.3 seconds. So can Silver get Miller before the end? Well, time will tell. But I don't know if he's going to be able to here, and whether or not he's going to be able to make it through. Miller's just opened up the gap. Silver went off track, unfortunately. Into the final turn. Got the car sideways. Tokyo drifted it, styled it, and away he goes. So well done to John Silver there for managing to hold it. But that battle is over and done as well. He's not going to close up 3.5 seconds over Miller. So it's should finish off Kurt, Miller, Silver. Unless any more dramas happen, of course. And then from Silver's point of view, he will unfortunately miss out on the first and second step. He should be able to take the third step of the podium. But let's hope he doesn't have any more dramas here for Silver, because otherwise it won't even be that, and he will lose that place to Johnson behind as well. So he has got to try and keep it on track a little bit. Kerr's coming around to start lap 37. We got this one and one more to go. And Liam Kerr will and should take the checkered flag. Lap 37 here for the Australian. Coming out, mistakes from Miller, mistakes from Smart. That's allowed Silver in. Miller's battled his way back up into second. Smart is not going to clear Boniadi, I don't think, and is sitting in 6th place at the moment. Come in with a fiery lights there as well, and come in with great thunder. Did an absolute barnstorming start at the beginning of this feature race, but just didn't quite manage to hold on to it after making a mistake. Uncharacteristic mistake, I think we can safely say, from Smart, but a mistake nonetheless, and that mistake has now cost him quite a few places. So yeah, unfortunately for Smart, didn't do himself any favours. But Liam Kerr come round and start the final lap of the race here this evening. 7.7 seconds. Cars are spread out all the way across the track with 7th place. That's Lindsay Green going into the Spitzker. So if Green stays where he is, he will be the last man to finish. But it's looking like Liam Kerr is going to come over that line and take the victory on that run down into the parabolic. A long left-hander. And Kerr has absolutely dominated this race since he got out in front. Brief moments of chaos. Don't get me wrong, obviously with Miller and with Smart making mistakes. Silver making a mistake as well. Miller got back through, of course. Pitted on lap 15, went on the softs. He's taken the soft tyres nearly 23 laps. Liam Kerr taking the softs a lot less than that. He's taken the softs only 14. So currently 7 laps shorter than Miller. But Liam Kerr going to come over the line and takes this victory. Round and final couple of corners. He goes left, he goes right, out in front he goes. Round the final corner, takes the victory here this evening. Barney's waiting for him. Liam Kerr takes the win. Great job from him. Miller is going to come across the line in 2nd place. Here he comes now. So Matt Miller's over the line, Silver's over the line. What about the final runners here? Daniel Johnson coming over the line next. There he goes, Boniadi. Another great job from him as always. Boniadi up. Well, he actually started and finished where he gridded up. So no places gained, but no places lost for Boniadi. J Smart comes over the line. He's lost 3 places here. Daniel Johnson's up 5, Silver's up 4, and Giuliano was up 4 until he went into the pits. And the final man on the race circuit here, Lindsey Green, comes over the line. So a stellar job done by him as well. So well done to them. But here are your results from that feature race. And it is Liam Kerr out in front, takes the victory by nearly 9 seconds. Then Matt Miller is in second, Silver third, Daniel Johnson fourth, Thomas Boniadi in fifth, Jay Smart sixth, and Lindsey Green the third in seventh. Then we've got Steve Rubens, lap down, Anthony Giuliano 8 laps, Andre Hansen 23, Marotta in 11th, Sagar 12th, and Alitsky, who didn't actually get to the start of the race. So there we go. That brings us to the end, as we're going to get a nice little photo finish of all the cars here on the grid. What is going on with Silver? There we go. John Silver does manage to get it in, and that is the nice 1, 2, 3 there. Kerr in the middle, Miller on the right, Silver on the left. So we can have a quick chat with John Silver here. John, how are you?
Hello, hello.
Hello, young sir. How are you?
Ooh, give me a second. I can hear you. Just give me one moment. One moment. Now you can talk.
You okay?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, mate. You all right?
Yep. Yeah. Whew, well, yeah, good to be on the podium. It's been a while, like 2 races, I think.
Was that-
If I'm not mistaken?
Was that a lucky third place, though, John?
I think. Yeah, I think it was more than lucky. I just didn't have the pace today. I have a high downforce, so at some point I gained, but on the straight I just lost few tenths. So yeah, and for example on quali, poof, that was really bad. On the I started like P8, if I'm not mistaken, and on the sprint race, I was doing good. I mean, not that fast, but and I think Anthony spun, so I was trying to avoid the contact. So I don't know who, but someone crashed me really hard. So my front wheel was damaged, and a little bit my steering wheel. So I just couldn't fight again. So I started like P8 or P9 again on the main one. So just to be out of the crashes, and yeah, I mean, I was trying to catch Mac. I think I was like 1.5 at some point. And yeah, I changed my differential medium to have more traction on that corner because I was getting close, but it just like it did the opposite. The car just, when I downshift, the car just tried to spun right away, so I had a massive drift.
Yeah, I saw that, mate.
So yeah, from that part, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, even though I'm trying really hard, I'm gonna be out like now. So yeah. I mean, I'm glad to be in the podium. It's just the championship is getting really hard. Liam is really fast. Mark is really fast. So yeah, I mean, I think if I'm not wrong, I think I'm gonna be P3 on the championship. I'm P2 right now, but I'm gonna be P3 because I think Liam just catch me.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see.
See how it goes, John, as well. I'm sure you're going to be up and around the top anyway there, bud. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. To you guys, thank you. To all the ones that make this league possible, and also to Mac and Liam, congratulations. They're really, really fast. And to Liam, that he won the race.
Yeah, well done there, John, as well. Thank you so much for joining us, bud, and hopefully we'll have a chat with you as the season goes on.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
Take care, man. Adios. Now, let's bring the man who finished in second place into the booth. Matt Miller, unfortunately, he takes the win in the sprint, and then coming out of turn 3 on lap 8, spun round, and round in a circle he went, but he did manage to battle his way back into second place. Mac, how are you, sir?
A little disappointed, but I mean, ultimately, with that mistake and getting P2, I really can't be too upset with that. Good recovery, all things considered.
Yeah, you come out really close to Liam Kerr after your pit stop, but he just seemed to have too much pace. Could you just not keep up?
He had like 15 lap fresher tires. My only real hope there was I could undercut him and maybe hold him off, but that's such a long shot. It was really just just trying to recover to P2. I think that was really the best I could do. And even without John, I think had a little off right at the end. He might have got me for P, but luckily he had a little mistake and I was able to hold it.
Yeah, your tyres were very old. I was surprised that you went on to the softs there as early as you did. Obviously, you pitted on lap 15. Was there any doubt in your mind about softs or hards, or was it just softs all the way?
No, definitely soft. So I'm just checking, the tire wear from the sprint race, and I could see the tire wear wasn't too bad. So it was definitely softs for sure.
Okay, mate. Okay, well, you should still, I believe, manage to stay in front of Liam in the championship as well. That's got to be the aim, right? Push forward, take the gold, take the championship, and job done, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Tried to keep my head down after that spin, just think about, keeping in there in the fight. Unfortunately, had a really bad race last week, so that really brought Liam back into it, but I still have some pace. Just got to iron out the mistakes.
Yeah, well, don't forget, Mac. We are only human here, buddy. Everybody makes mistakes. Just ask Jay Smart. He made a couple of them this evening, unfortunately, as well. But, Mac, thanks so much for joining us there. But anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Shout out Liam. Flawless race. He just kept his cool. Made his move when he did, and just really dominated from there. So, congrats, man. Really good race.
Awesome stuff, man, Mac. Well, thanks so much for joining us here, bud. And we look forward to having a chat with you as the season goes on.
Yeah, hopefully.
Take care, mate.
Take care.
Right, and next up on the list will be Liam Kurt, the man from Down Under, second in the sprint, first in the feature, capitalised on some mistakes from Jay Smart and Matt Miller there, but manages to hold on and keep out in front all the way to the end. Liam, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Oh, fantastic, mate. I couldn't have asked for any more luck there.
Oh, no, mate.
Both in the same lap, they just stood right in front of me, and I was like, oh, yes, I was cheering. It was great.
Yeah, don't, I'd go and put some lottery numbers on, mate, or something now, because literally that was just, well, lucky, wasn't it? Mistakes from Smart, mistake from Miller. You've capitalised. Did you get worried when you come out just in front of Miller out the pits, though? Or, being that you were on, 9-lap younger tyres?
I was a bit worried because I was watching the gap, maintaining it before I pitted in. I knew it was going to be really close on exit, but I don't know if you guys saw, I got on the grass and almost hit the wall and then just had a really slow pit stop. But I just know if I was smart about my ERS placement and kept close in the last sector, I'd be fine to get past them with new tyres.
Yeah, definitely as well. That should, we think, move you up into second place in the championship as well. It's going to be a close one between you and Miller for the rest of the season, isn't it? I think it's going to come down to the wire between you guys.
Oh, I reckon it will. It's been close all season. We've been pretty much the same pace. It's been a really good battle. I'm having good fun.
Yeah, definitely there as well. Well, let's see how this season goes on. Thanks so much, Liam, for joining me. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Miller, to still be able to put himself in that position after spinning, that's really impressive. So thank you guys. Thank you for broadcasting as usual. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, man. You take care. Have a good one.
See ya.
There you go, guys. That was Liam Kurt joining us there as well. But that brings us to the end of the broadcast. Round 6 is over and done and dusted. So round 6 has finished us off here as well. But stay tuned as well. We've got more racing coming up on the JPB YouTube channel tomorrow as well. TSRC GT3 round 2 and the Radical Race series also kicking in as well. So stay tuned for that one. But for now, guys, from myself up here in the booth, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.